this one so people can catch it later if they would like. And let's see. Okay. Okay, I am so excited that I get to be with all of you today and tell you just a little bit about what we have found. We are so excited. My husband and I have been in this industry for 28 years. And before I go any further, I don't know a lot of the people on this call. So let me introduce myself. My name's Trisha Albrechtsen. Some of you may know us from the past. We've been in the industry for a long time, but we have absolutely been blown away by the experiences we've had. We know that some of the best products in the world come through network marketing or direct sales. So there's a lot of great products around. The products that we've found at this company, we feel like are very, very spectacular. I'm excited to tell you about them in just a minute. We really look for culture. We really look for integrity. We have been to the top of several companies only to have the rug pulled out from underneath us as we got to the top and pulled back the curtain. It wasn't what we wanted to have our names attached to. And so we've been very picky. The last few years, we have been unattached, we will say. We've spent 3 years looking at the industry, deciding whether we wanted to go back into it again. We love it when it's done right. And we love what can come from this type of a company where you can get your time, your freedom. We've been retired from our businesses since the age of, well, I was 29. My husband was 35, and we have not had a job since. We've been in this industry entirely, and it's created opportunities that we could not have even expected. We were looking for an income. We were looking for a great product. We were looking for a great team. We weren't expecting to find all of the joys that came along with time freedom and having everything in place to be able to go and really impact the world and take our children and let them see the world through different eyes and be able to go and build houses in third world countries and put water wells in areas that didn't have clean drinking water, and really just anything and everything we could do to make a difference globally. And that wasn't even on my radar when we first found this industry. I just wanted to have some of the lifestyle that I saw. And we were able to get the lifestyle and move past the lifestyle and realize it's fun to have a really fun car or a really nice house, but there's a lot of world out there, and we wanted to make a difference in it and leave a footprint. So if you're here because you want a better house or a better car, we're going to show you how to do that. If you're here because you want more time, we're going to show you how to do that. If we're here because you have a health issue that you really want to tackle, we're going to give you some avenues to pursue with that. But if you really want to leave a legacy and you really want to leave a footprint, the timing could not be better with this company. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share screen and take you into our presentation for Activz. So Activz is a company that started in 2017 in Mexico. So if we were in Mexico, I'd say, yeah, we're just early on, and it's, you know, just beginning. We're in the first few years, and that's great. But we're in the United States, and we're literally just barely out of the gate. Barely. I think you could probably say the US started officially in about June of 2021. So it's really just out of the gate. There's less than 150 people that really are running with this as a business. So you're hearing about this possibly for the first time in your state. I know there's a couple people on this call that I know are the first in your states. And just over the weekend, we opened Virginia. So if you're hearing about this from Virginia, you're literally hours into it. There's a handful maybe of people that have even heard the name Activz, that have heard anything about this. So timing within this type of a business where it's all word of mouth is incredibly important. You want to be early on, you want to be close to the top. And more so than that, for us, it wasn't just about being first. We wanted to be able to lay down some of the culture. We wanted to be able to lay down some foundation for the company that would bring the right people in, the right feeling in, the right heart in, because we know that when people make money, it accentuates who they are. They're able to do more, they're able to impact more, But some people become greedy, some people become arrogant, and some people become amazing. And so we wanted to bring good people in because we know there's an incredible amount of money that's going to be made through this company, through this comp plan, because of these products and because of this company, that we know what's coming. So we're so glad that you're here. We're so glad that somebody thought enough of you to say, yes, they are the right culture. They are the right person to be able to be part of the foundation of this company. So Activz is really made up of multiple pieces for us. We didn't just look at the company. We started really looking at the people that were running it. And we knew David Brown. We've known David Brown and worked with him in the past. We've known him for 12 years. We know his heart. We know he is our CEO. And we know his vision. We know that he puts people first. He puts his distributors first. And he stands on integrity. And he's willing to do the hard things when integrity is on the line. He always puts the right first. So we love that David Brown is here with Activz. We love that Ryan Thompson is here. Ryan Thompson also is a very transparent, very honest, very good man. And we've known him for 17, almost 18 years. We've watched his children come into his family. We've been, really integral parts as our families have grown up together. And we're so thrilled that he's the president of this company. We're so thrilled to have Dr. Joe McCord on our board. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about him if you're not familiar with that name. I know some of you are. For those of you that are not, I'm going to jump into products, because products is the second thing that we really look at. Products is the backbone to a business. You can have the best timing in the world, but if you don't have a good corporate team that is transparent and honest and integrous and has the vision of the distributors succeeding in the company, if they're in it for greed, or they're in it arrogantly, or they're in it unknowingly and not having the experience to be able to drive the ship, it doesn't matter how good your timing is, and it doesn't matter how good your comp plan is. It doesn't matter how good your products appear if the company isn't strong. And then you need that timing. You want to be the first to hear about it. You need products that can support a company decades later, that it's still a good thing. It's still impacting the people that hear about it because the products are making a difference in their lives, and thus they can still make income with the company, even after the timing has kind of come and been around the loop a few times. You need something that satisfies the trends of the marketplace. So right now, more than ever before, people are looking for a side hustle that can replace their full-time income. They don't just need something that's going to be an extra $12. They don't need something that's going to bring in an extra $100 a week. They need something that's going to literally replace their jobs. People are being forced into decisions of whether they can even keep their job. Just today alone, I've talked to 4 people that may be out of a job in the next 30 to 45 days. That's never happened in the 28 years we've been in this industry, to find that many people all of a sudden looking at that. And that's just a tiny, tiny side piece of the whole society. I would venture that that is probably pretty commonplace among a good majority of the people out there right now. They're looking at what they thought was a solid career and wondering if they're even going to have a job in 2 months. So people are looking for a way to make solid income from home. And we've loved that we can teach people to make CEO income and even beyond from a telephone or from a computer. That's what we have loved most about this industry. And then you need a comp plan that is going to fairly reward people. So I hope by the time we get done with this tonight, you will see that you can replace any income. I don't care if you're Fortune 500, I don't care if you're corporate America or you run the company, we can replace your income. And I want to show you how we can do that. And I'm very confident in that. I've had a couple of doctors pin me to the wall and a couple of big business people pin me to the wall and dare me basically to prove, they want to prove me wrong. But every time I show them, they kind of have one of these moments of just mind blown, that they see that they can make way more than what they were hoping or thinking that they could make. And the ceiling that they had set was way too low. So I'm going to take you down a little journey really quick here with Activz today and show you how this works. So our first product goes back to Dr. McCord. And if you had your chance to be the first to hear about something that could be the next $1 million or $1 billion or $1 trillion breakthrough, would you catch it? Did you catch Bitcoin when it was 3 cents? Did you buy Apple stock when it was little? It's not today, and it would have done 1,000x if you'd caught it. You watch the stocks, you watch the cryptocurrencies that 10x and 100x and 1000x, and fortunes are made overnight. Well, how do you position yourselves in front of the next big thing? If you're on YouTube at all, you're probably getting blasted with ads saying this big thing, that big thing, this is how you make your millions, and this is how you make your millions. I don't know how to predict those, but I do know how to predict network marketing, and Activz has all of the components that we've been looking for a very long time. So one of the things that helped us to realize what's going on with this particular product, and Dr. McCord in particular, is this Elliott Cresson medal. This medal is given to people who change all of society. They discover something, invent something, create something that has impacted hundreds of millions or billions of lives around the earth. Alexander Graham Bell with the telephone has impacted people deep into third world countries. People have telephones. It's a very common thing where people literally have phones within an arm's reach, and we have them at our beck and call all day, every day. Orville Wright with airplanes, with flight, has changed the way that people stay in contact and are able to see each other, even though we may live continents apart. Henry Ford with his automobile has made possible all of our transportation and has changed the way that we get from here to there. It's literally these type of people that have changed everything that are on this list. Dr. Joe Milton McCord was the most recent recipient of that award. It was given to him a long time ago, but they haven't found anybody since that's developed something that's so breakthrough and so brand new. Everything that's coming out is a development on something that has already come about. It's newer, it's better, it's stronger, but it's all going back to the original. So in 1960s, early 1960s, Dr. McCord was a medical student, and he discovered an enzyme called superoxide dismutase. He actually helped name that. It's actually measured in McCord units. So he's that kind of a doctor. He's world renowned. He's in the medical books. He's not just a doctor that we brought on to be on our medical advisory board and be a face. He is absolutely a world renowned doctor. In 1997, he was awarded the Elliott Cresson Medal for discovering that organism. And they found that that superoxide dismutase, the SOD enzyme, gobbled up free radicals in the body. The reason that's important is because free radical damage is literally destroying us from the inside out, and it's unavoidable. It's like exhaust from an engine of a car. You can't get around it. We can't avoid free radical damage. Every time we breathe, every time we expend any energy, eat, drink, move, sleep, we are creating more free radicals. It's just the interchange of the molecules inside of our body, and that's the exhaust that comes off of the action. So people that are exercising, yes, it's good for their body, but they're actually creating even more oxidative stress. People that are around an awful environment, something they're eating or drinking or breathing that's not quite pure, which is pretty much everybody at this point, let's face it. Even if we're eating organic, we're still eating things that are in the same air as everything else and the same water as everything else. So we're all getting it. So that's making even more oxidative stress inside of our bodies. If you go on to PubMed and you look up any disease, pretty much anything, I found 2 in 12 years that were not listed on there with oxidative stress attached. And both of those were so rare. I think it wasn't because they weren't attached to it. I think they just didn't have any studies done on it because they were so obscure. It wasn't worth the money to do the study. But we're finding that oxidative stress is synonymous with disease. So the higher it is, the higher the disease rate. The lower it is, the lower the disease rate. So this got him nominated for the Nobel Prize 4 times. It really caught the attention of people around the world. So he was on the Today Show, he was on Extra, Wall Street Journal did a big piece, put him on the front page. ABC Primetime came in and tried to debunk it. And if you haven't seen the ABC Primetime special, please get a hold of the person that told you about this video and ask them to send it to you. I'm not going to go through it tonight for sake of time. I apologize for that, but it's a fascinating piece. And it was done back in 2005, talking about his breakthrough discovery of this enzyme. Well, just like the flip phone didn't stay the flip phone, and the dial phone that was originally created certainly is not the smartphone that we have today, things progress and get stronger over time as more knowledge comes to the world. Same thing has happened with Dr. McCord's understanding. So he discovered that this first product that he had created, he called it Protandim, and it turned back on this enzyme in the body. It turned back on superoxide dismutase that could eat the free radical damage from the inside. So SOD eats 1 million molecules of a million free radicals every single second. It's absolutely incredible. But he also found out that what he had done when he created Protandim was he didn't just turn back on SOD, he turned on thousands of genes that had gone dormant as we got into our adulthood. So children normally function pretty normally and pretty properly with everything firing correctly. Now I say normally or most of the time because there are kids now that are getting diseases that used to be associated with old age. Diabetes used to be a disease for older people. Now it's commonplace with people in their 40s, and we're even seeing a strain going into juvenile diabetes. It's getting younger and younger, and I think that's just because the food we're eating, the air we're breathing, the water that we're drinking, things are getting broken down faster. So being able to turn back on those genes and enzymes to fight things from the inside, 1 million times stronger than anything we can drink or eat, any super berry or superfood. They can't even come close. You'd have to eat truckloads of blueberries to even equal what happens when the enzymes get turned back on in the body. And the protein that they found that turns those things back on is called NRF2. So in his studying and in his process, he went back into the laboratory after creating Protandim and created 5 additional ways to turn on and activate NRF2 in the body. So today we have genomics, which is his strongest to date. It's his strongest formulation that he's come up with. It's actually a full 10 times stronger than his original formulation of the early 2000s that he called Protandim. So this product literally goes in, turns on or up or down, whatever is out of balance in the body. Think of it as the master piano tuner. So if things are too high, like inflammation, it's going to bring it back down. If things are too low, the survival genes that go to sleep, he's waking them back up. The things like SOD and catalase and glutathione and things that are necessary to keep our body functioning properly are being turned back on and brought back up. So incredible product, but we don't just stop there. It's not our flagship product. It is one of 3. We have 3 products that we call the trifecta because they all are important. So genomics is the one we've been talking about. It's take it once a day, turn back on those genes and enzymes inside your body, help lower oxidative stress and lower disease. So if you have something in your family that you're seeing your aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents dealing with, and you're saying, I really don't want to go down that path, whether you have it or not, you need to be on this product, because if you have it, we want to be able to start to slow down and be able to lower the oxidative stress and lower that disease state so that you can feel a little better. If you don't have it yet, for goodness sake, keep things going properly so that you don't necessarily have to go down that path. This is your chance to rewrite what may have been in your future. Incredibly powerful product. Link is the next one I want to talk about. Link is absolutely just as strong in my opinion. Link is butyric acid. I had never heard of butyric acid. It's a short chain fatty acid that is so incredibly important in the body. We only get it naturally through mother's milk, the colostrum. That very first couple of days is power packed with butyric acid. And after that, our bodies are supposed to be creating it through the foods we eat. Unfortunately, I went on and Googled some of the foods we need to eat to create good butyric acid in our body, and I'd never heard of them. Not only did I not have them in my house, I didn't even know what they were. I did know what butter was. I'd heard of butter and I'd heard of ghee, but I don't really know what it is. The rest of the things on the list, I really couldn't tell you what they were. So that gave me an idea. I definitely am not getting enough butyric acid in my body. Well, butyric acid is the food for our endothelial cells and our epithelial cells that line our organs, all of our major organs. So if you know anybody that's had COVID and they're still having heart issues or lung issues, you need to get them this product ASAP so that they can start to rebuild those cellular linings and help those organs to be healthier. If you know anybody with any kind of a gut issue, leaky gut occurs because the endothelial cells are starving. Instead of being nice and tight and plump together, they're shriveling and you're getting gaps between them. And so now when we eat foods with preservatives or chemicals or any kind of toxins that get in, or pollens that we breathe are getting through and into the bloodstream, is it any wonder that people have so many allergies and food issues? Is it any wonder that people are suffering from leaky gut? I was reading a report not too long ago, and I can't remember the exact percentage, but it was extremely high, like 60 to 70%, if I remember correctly, of people have leaky gut and don't know it. So that tells me those epithelial cells are starving. So butyric acid is the food that's going to be able to start to help to heal your gut. It's going to help to take care of your intestinal tract and all of your digestive system. So if you know anybody that's got digestive issues, incredibly strong product. We gave one to a friend that was staying overnight at our house, didn't even know what he was suffering with. He got up the next morning and told us that for the first time in 30 years, he had not had to take an antacid before he went to bed. That's incredible. I'm sure the antacid itself is having a long-term effect on his body that's probably not good for him. And to be able to have Link in there, it just helped everything in the digestive tract to function properly. These products are in capsules, so you can literally break them open. We break them open and put Link into our grandbaby's bottle. She's 7 months old, and it allows her to be able to have normal bowel movements, which has been life-changing for her. She was going down a really, really bumpy road and having a really hard time. Link also helps feed the brain. So if you know anybody that would like to clear the brain fog, which I think is pretty much all of us, for people that are starting to forget things, it helps to put the neurons and the synapses back together in the brain. It helps create more synapses in the brain. It helps to balance the hormones in the brain. So dopamine and serotonin. Right before we started this call, Matthew and I were discussing a friend that Matthew shared the products with. These products have absolutely changed this man's wife's life, lifting depression and helping just clear things that have been holding her back. I watched the same thing in our own household with a family member that was very, very depressed, and literally within 24 hours on this product, watched that cloud come off of him. So if you know people that are depressed or anxious that have been through a lot this last year, I know they walk among us. We need to be sharing this product. If you know anybody that has a child that's autistic or ADD or ADHD, that they have some sort of a brain switch that's just not quite firing at 100%. Kids run on all different levels of the spectrum, but we know that when they get on Link, they rise up the spectrum. We don't know where it's going to end for them. We don't know how much it's going to improve things for them, but we know scientifically that it's going to start to help them because it's increasing BDNF in the brain. That's brain-derived neurotropic factor. BDNF helps with all of those things to help those kids think clearer, focus better, be able to function better. So stick around, you'll hear some stories that'll make you cry that are absolutely incredible as we watch children's lives change, as we watch elderly people's lives change. We've watched my husband's father regain memories and stop repeating himself after he got on Link, which was a great blessing for him and a great blessing for all that were around him loving him. Optimend is the third of our trifecta. Optimend lowers inflammation and pain. So inflammation is one of those things that once we get it through an injury or through working too hard, it's going to make itself known through pain. If you work out really hard, you're going to be hurting after. If you twist or pull something, you're going to be hurting after. That inflammation immediately makes itself known. But the bigger problem with inflammation that we need to be aware of is the unseen, unfelt inflammation that's chronic, that's burning inside of us, that literally is causing disease and leading to death. So inflammation untreated is extremely deadly and very painful along the way. Turmeric has been long known to us as one of the strongest anti-inflammation ingredients that you can use that is natural. The problem with turmeric we're finding is that it's a large molecule, so it's hard for the body to absorb it. It just has trouble getting through the stomach. So the doctors and the scientists are now putting it into curcumin, which is a breakdown of turmeric. You're seeing that in the stores. Curcumin's a little bit smaller, a little bit more simple for the body to use. But if it does get into the stomach breaks it down to tetrahydrocurcumin. And that is the only part of the turmeric plant that actually can be metabolized by the body. So here with Activz, we want to give you the best, strongest products that we can. So they've taken just the tetrahydrocurcumin and they've put it into Optimend. So you're getting literally the strongest part of it that is going to be the anti-inflammation, and you're not paying for all the rest that would go down the drain. So it's natural, it's safe, and it's going to help with pain and inflammation. I love giving this to people that have had so much pain in their joints that they've got surgery scheduled. We've had 4 or 5 people just in the last 2 months cancel their surgeries because now they don't hurt. Now they can walk up and down stairs. They can do things that they couldn't do a few weeks before. And I love watching this product work quickly. We actually gave a couple to a man that had attended a meeting, and the next morning he called the person that had given them to him, so excited, didn't have pain in his feet, didn't have pain in his back for the first time in a very, very long time. So whether they can feel the inflammation or can't, we all need to be on Optimend. Now, the special thing that I just want to make sure I touch on with Optimend and Link, they are both wrapped in a special patented process that comes from a scientist by the name of Al Zapp. And Al Zapp has created a way to wrap at a molecular level so that things can safely get into the body and time release at the proper place and time in the body to be able to make the biggest impact. So Link is butyric acid. And the reason that you're not hearing more about this and seeing it all over the place is it smells really bad. If you've ever had somebody in your family have the stomach flu, you've smelled butyric acid. Sorry, I hope this is coming through okay. My internet's had a really hard, long day. So we're gonna hope that it will continue to give us some connection. I'm getting little notes that I might be not clear. So hopefully you're getting this. Butyric acid, because it smells so badly, that is so important for the body, because of Al's ability to wrap it, we can wrap it and have no smell, no taste. So you can get that pure butyric acid into your brain, into your gut, into your body to do what it needs to do. Optimend with tetrahydrocurcumin, it's 4 molecules. It's tiny. To be able to get that to time release in the right part of the body would not be possible without his wrap that goes around it to be able to get it into the intestinal tract to be able to do the most good. We're so grateful for the doctors and the scientists that come to this company that bring amazing things to us so that we can all be healthier. Our skincare line comes from one of the top developers in the skincare world. I've been asked to not release their name yet. You would know them. They are making some of the top brands in the world, and they have created Emora for us. So Emora is based on E for epidermis, Mora for love. They want you to love your skin. So everything from our purifying mud there on the left that comes in dry form so that you can customize it to whatever your skin needs. If you've got drying skin, you can mix it with yogurt or avocado and make a very cooling mask. If you want to just give yourself a good detox, you can mix it with water and use it as an exfoliating rub. You can mix it a little bit drier and make a mask, which is fantastic. I love doing it that way. You can mix it with apple cider vinegar, and it's miraculous and wonderful on acne. It really is one of the best skin products I've ever used. The toner that's in the middle makes your skin just come alive, puts that glow back in your skin, makes everything the right pH, and helps with anti-aging. So they learned about fermented rice water, which is the base for our toner, from watching the men stir the sake pots over in Asia, and they ended up with very youthful hands. So it's something that kind of came as an accident as they were stirring the rice water, but that anti-aging benefit on the skin, who doesn't want that glow? Our serum has 5 active ingredients in it. So it's going to help with everything from making your pores smaller to bringing back the collagen in your skin, helping remove and reduce fine lines and wrinkles, helping to even the skin tone and discoloration, removing age spots. And I've even seen it help with scarring to be able to help the skin to be able to heal. This is the biggest organ in our body. We definitely want to take care of it. And Umora really wants to give you the benefit to be able to love your skin again. Arrow just came out to Activz in early 2021. It's an energy drink that's very, very safe. There's a lot of energy drinks on the market that are messing with people's hearts. They're doing things that are not ideal. This is an energy drink that's going to give you just a sustained energy through the day. There's no big crash at the end. It just gives that sustained, clear, clarity feeling of energy throughout the day. And then I sleep really, really great on this product. The other thing that I love about it is it's a metabolizer. So it's burning fat long after your exercise is done. It's helping you to burn fat, lose inches and weight, even while we're sitting at a desk. We're seeing people literally dropping inches, dropping weight. Everybody's different. I personally have not lost a pound on this product, but I've loved the energy. I've lost some inches on this product. And I love that I'm not just mindlessly grabbing things anymore. My cravings have stopped. My appetite is suppressed because of this product. So I'm more mindful of what I put into my body. And as a result, I'm healthier. And I really, really, truly love this product. If I miss a day or I travel and forget to take it, I can definitely feel it. I'm yawning by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm wanting that little bit of a, quick power nap. And I just feel like I'm just kind of in that haze. When I'm on my Arrow, I don't feel any of that. I just feel like I can go and run throughout the whole day. I love it. So that's our product line right now. They are continually adding to it, but they're not just going to add fluffy products to it. They want to add products that are special and unique, that are in demand by the market, but that are not available anywhere else on the market. So that's what we have our hands on with products. Timing, like I said, couldn't be better. Mexico has about a 4-year head start on us. They're doing about $2 million a month right now. The United States is doing less than $100,000 a month right now. You're literally hearing about this before we've even scratched the top of the iceberg. So we get to be in front of this curve. If you've ever looked at this timing chart before, if you haven't seen it, this is where fortunes are made. When you can get in front of a product or a company or a stock or any kind of something that's going to grow and is going to be able to be branded enough in the marketplace to do $4.2 million a month in sales, that becomes the magical point that they've found that creates a critical mass point. It's a tipping point. When all of a sudden growth goes from horizontal to vertical, that's when you get that 1000x. And if you can be involved with something that goes through that just once in your life, it will change your life. It really, really will. I've been in a couple of companies where we've started to get into that momentum, and it's just unbelievable. I mean, your check just grows and grows and grows because the masses are coming and people are looking for it. I literally had a woman chasing me through a parking lot in a company that I was in. I thought I'd run over something because she's waving her arms and she's chasing me down, and she's so I couldn't tell if she was agitated or what. Turns out she'd seen something on my vehicle that had sparked something in her, and she wanted me to roll down my window and wanted to ask me about my company. And I mean, she was just crazy chasing me through the parking lot. People come looking for you at that point because they've heard about it, they want it, and they're coming to you. It becomes very, very simple. But the idea is you want to cast as big of a net before that point comes as you possibly can. So here we are in the United States. Here we are just barely branching into the East Coast. So all of you that are on this call from the East Coast, you now get the joy and the responsibility and the excitement to be able to take this to the world. And as you cast those nets and you touch more and more people, those people are going to touch more and more people. You'll find that all of a sudden you have business in countries you haven't even heard of, or countries you don't know where they are, because you talk to somebody who talked to somebody who talked to somebody whose brother-in-law works part of the year in Guam or Dominican Republic or Peru. We are able to do business in 220 countries right now. So if you have connections, great, but don't spread yourself too thin. My suggestion is do spread yourself around a little bit. So rather than talking to just a core little group that live right within a mile of you, talk to one maybe that lives close to you, and then talk to maybe one in another state and one across the country a little bit, and one in another corner of the country, or people that don't know each other, or different backgrounds, different ethnic, different religions, this is the kind of business that brings everybody together. We don't care what your background is. We don't care what your political affiliation is. We don't care what your title is, what your education is, what your age is, what your experience is. This business is a leveler. It makes it possible for anyone at any stage to be able to make a difference and to be able to be involved with the company. We've helped 16-year-olds make six-figure incomes. We've helped a 95-year-old man make a $60,000 a year increase to his retirement. It doesn't matter who you are. It just matters that you get out and you follow the system and you help a few people. I don't need you to be a master salesperson. I need you to be able to share with a few key people who will bring the right culture to this company, that will bring the right heart to this company, so that we can keep the integrity and we can keep everything good, so that this company will last for 60, 70, 100 years. That's the plan of Activz. So our system that I'm going to show you is going to show you what you need to do and what you get out of it. It's not going to break it down bonus by bonus. If you want to see that, you can write this down. If you've got a pen, you can go to Activz, activz.info. Activz.info. If you go into the compensation section, you can see Ryan Thompson, our president, he helped write the compensation plan, and you can see him go through each bonus by bonus and show you how they work. What I want to show you is the big picture, that if you do basic things, this is what's going to happen. And I'm only going to show you just a few bonuses that are based on simple math, because I don't want to be projective with you. I don't want to try and, blow smoke. I want to make sure that I'm telling you things that are factual, that are documentable, that can happen. Now, I also know that it's not a perfect world. What I'm about to show you is based on perfect figures of people coming in, buying a business package. We teach people to buy a $500 business package. It's within reach for people that are struggling, but it's big enough that it's going to give you about $750 worth of product and get your business off to a great start. It's enough product for you to use and your spouse and your loved ones. You can share the products around and really start to see the impact that they can make. We then encourage you to do a $240 auto ship or overhead or subscription each month to run your business. Now, when we were self-employed, we spent that much a day putting gas into our equipment. For being in business, that's extremely low. None of our businesses were started for less than $20,000 or $30,000. 500, I think it cost us that much for our licensing. So what you're about to do and what you're about to see is how to run a business. You can be a business owner. We're going to show you how you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We're going to show you a way that you can succeed and not be one of the carnage businesses that start up and 2 to 3 years later, they're closing. We want you to be a successful business owner. Now that $240 a month is what we chose because that's where the most common packages are that people purchase. It was kind of the sweet spot, but most of my people do a lot more than that because customer volume actually adds to your bottom line and actually adds to your personal volume. So they're doing $240 for their own household, but they have a few customers doing the same. They might be doing $1,000 or $1,200 in volume. If that's the case, it throws all my numbers. That means everything I'm about to show you is low. I would rather promise low and deliver high. Now, obviously, if not everybody does what I'm about to show you, that's going to skew it a little bit, but I'm going to show you a way around that as well. So we encourage you, like I said, to come in with the $500 pack, do the $240 a month that's shown up at the top in the gray. And then our goal is to help you find 4 business partners, 4 people that also want to own a business, that see the value in these products. Now, if people don't want to, that's fine. We have a great customer program where they can actually earn points to get free product by telling a few friends. It's a great product or a great program, and we can talk about that another time. So I don't encourage anybody to upgrade to a distributor. If they just want to be a customer and use the great products, that's fabulous. But for people that want to be in business or need to replace full incomes, this is the course for them. They bring in 4 business partners. They come in the same way with the $500 pack, the $240 a month. The one-time bonuses that come from that are around $500. So right off the bat, they've made their return on their investment. As a business owner, that's a really, really big deal. And then the residual that comes is $100 a month. It's $1,200 a year. It's not anything to write home about, but it's certainly money that you'd be happy to have. It'll pay for some dinners out, or it'll pay for some overhead on your business. The next step is we help those 4 people find 4 people. On that level, you've got 16 that come in. You can put a few down there if you bring in another person or 2 or 3 or 4. A lot of our leaders have brought in 10 or 15 people, and they put 4 on the first level, and the rest just go down and filter down through the organization. So when the next level fills in, your one-time bonuses are about $570, and your overhead, your auto ship is, or excuse me, your residual, it comes from the overhead being done each month, is $250. So now your order is paid for. So you've paid back your initial, or you've made your return on your investment, and you've made enough money to cover your expenses every single month. We had businesses that we ran for years before that ever happened. In fact, we had one that we never did break even. We never did get into that point where we'd paid off all of our expenses and paid off all of our startup. We were still making payments when we walked away from that company. So this is unheard of in traditional business, to be able to make the returns that quickly, but it only happens because your returns are small coming into it. It's a beautiful blessing. When the third level comes in and those 16 people do the same thing, bringing on 4 business partners, your one-time bonuses jump to over $4,000, and your residual is about $1,500. So you've really started to make an impact where it can cover some utilities or a car payment or some of the bills that may be hanging over your head. And when the 4th level fills in and you get the 10,000 plus in your one-time bonuses, that's going to make a bigger dent in that debt that may have accrued. Pay off your credit cards, pay off some school loans, whatever it is that's in your background that's just kind of lingering there. Let's start to get that gone. And the $5,000 a month is enough that people may start to be able to consider lightening up a job. Maybe bring a wife home, or bring a husband home from a second job. Maybe even replace an income. If somebody's not making the moon and they just need to make, enough to cover. I've talked to several business owners in the last few months that look like they're running these huge, massive organizations and big, big companies, and they are, but their overhead is just as big. And their take home is actually less than $5,000 a month. And so I show them this, and they're like seeing, potential and hope and light. And we could actually walk away and not have to work from sun up to sundown 6 or 7 days a week. And they could actually make their life open up again and earn back their time. Now we know that if we've done our job right, the people on level 4 also know 4 people, and they go get their people, then level 5 fills in, and all of a sudden you've got 20,000 in one-time bonuses. You've got a residual of $15,000 a month. You've got a car bonus that's kicked in at that point. You can see is $800 on this level. It starts at $500, somewhere between levels 4 and 5. You'd start to get that, and they'll make payments on your car for the rest of your life. So obviously that's going to be more than one car. So you pay off one, they'll start making payments on another one. So that car bonus is just going to come in from that point on. When the 6th level fills in, you have hit the top level of the company. So they're going to actually throw in an extra bonus that they just added a few months ago. You'll find with this company, they don't make changes to the comp plan. They don't ever mess with the existing, but they love to add things in. The bigger the company gets, the more extra and surplus that they have to play with, they add bonuses. So just in the last 6 months, they've added this $100,000 check where when you hit the top of the company, they show up with the great big check with your name on it and $100,000 to present to you for hitting the top level of the company. They're also going to pay you $1,000 a month towards your car. You're also making about $55,000 just from the math that we've run here. If everybody's just doing a flat 240, you're making about $55,000 a month. But the beauty is that residual goes down another 2 levels. So even though you've hit the top level of the company, your check is going to continue to grow and grow and grow because the residual jumps into the hundreds of thousands of dollars at that point. And by the time it's filled at your 8th level, you're making over $360,000 a month. Now, the beauty of this is they give you additional business centers along the way. So you don't have to just be happy with that. If 363,000 doesn't tickle your hotspot and it doesn't motivate you to go and tell 4 people about this, and you're not seeing the value of the products because you're perfectly healthy and going to stay that way till you die because everybody in your family has lived to be the age of 99 and then died in their sleep, then maybe you're the anomaly and you're fine. But if you're like everybody I know, they have something in their background, something in their closet that somebody has suffered with, and they don't want to go down that same path. And they know that genetically they could be carrying the same markers. If you would like to wake things up in your body and feel like you did when you were 17 or 18 again, I'm just going to tell you a secret. It feels amazing. Feels amazing. And I can tell you that firsthand. I got an autoimmune disease when I was 28 years old, and I feel better today at almost barking at the door of 50 than I did when I was in my late 20s. That's a blessing. The products work. The comp plan works. The timing's incredible. The company has stability within the ranks. They know what they're doing. They've been seasoned in their training. They know how to build this type of a business. They have integrity and they have transparency and they have vision to take this for the long haul. So if you can see what we saw when we saw the factors lining up and you realize that you get to be one of the first in your state and you get to be one of the first in the company, what that means is that those that run right now are starting to brand themselves. We had a lady that joined literally in July and was just represented as one of the keynote speakers on our training for the whole company in the month of September. She just did it. So literally 2 months after she joined, she's already being recognized as one of the top leaders in the company. So we're that early. You can literally brand yourself as one of the leaders in a company. So when you look at these network marketing companies, people always say, oh, you have to be in early to be at the top. Not exactly true, but it's definitely an ace up your sleeve. It definitely helps because right now there isn't anybody that's marked as the leadership. There's only one person at the top of this company in the United States, and her entire team is building in South America. So even though she's here, they don't really look at her as the Caucasian, not necessarily Caucasian, because the United States, we are a melting pot of all different people's skin colors, beliefs, and everything, and that makes us all a wonderful country. But we're looking at the Caucasian break, or English speaking, I guess is more what I'm looking for. So English speakers versus Spanish speakers within the division of the United States. And right now there's nobody at the top. There's no A16s. The highest rank in the United States is an A11, and we're just barely out of the gate. So anybody can be at the top. Anybody can be the first A16 to run and gun and get all the way to the top. You could still literally pass the people that have the head start on you at this point. We're that early. So everything for us lined up, every box was checked. We can help create the culture. So if you've ever wanted to be in a company where the people at the top and the things that were going on at the top were positive, and you're not dealing with rumors or messes or things that are going on behind closed doors or things that just feel a little bit not quite the way that you think, and you want to be able to have a footprint on how this company is formed, you're in the right place at the right time. If you want to be able to leave a legacy for your family of a business that they will want to inherit, you're in the right place at the right time. This company is inheritable to your children's children. I'd say it's inheritable to your children, but chances are you're going to live to a ripe old age. So I'm telling my kids, don't wait for it. If you want a piece of it, you go build your own. build your own Activz business, because by the time I'm ready to pass it along, it'll probably be to my grandchildren or my great grandchildren. So we have a possibility of building an incredible legacy. We have a chance to be able to buy back our time, buy back our freedom, be able to retire at any age that you are. Retirement is not based on an age. If that's not evident to you, if you have a Walmart anywhere near you and the people at the greeting at the door, there is no age that says you can retire anymore. People have to work until they financially can afford not to. So if that's the case, don't you want to retire while you're young enough to enjoy it? Let's make it so that you can financially afford not to work. That's our game plan. Our game plan is to help as many people make $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 a month as we can, because we know if we can do that before that critical mass point hits and then it does 1,000x, they're the ones that are going to come out of here making $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month, or $1 million a month. And that's a leadership discussion for another day. We've mapped this comp plan to how we know that you can make over $1 million a month. One of the bonuses that I didn't really talk about that's actually probably one of the biggest parts of this company, I don't want to leave it out, is our profit sharing bonus. This company takes 10% of all the volume that's done around the world in any of those 220 countries, and they put 10% of it into a kitty that they then share among the leadership. Now, the last company that I was a part of that had something similar to this had a 4% profit sharing. You had to be doing at least $100,000 in volume to even be a part of it. In this company, you just have to be doing $10,000 a month, so a tenth of what was required there, and you can participate in these leadership bonuses. It also is 10% versus 4%, so 2.5 times bigger. When our company was doing 200 million in the past, our check was close to $40,000 from that shared bonus. So if we're at the top of this company and it's a $200 million company, because right now we're only doing 100,000, and you get to ride that tide of growth and you get to position and build your network to be part of that growth, how big of a net are you going to lay? How many lives are you going to change? And how quickly can you get your 4 and help them get their 4 and teach them to help their people get their 4? Because that's as simple as it is. You don't need to have to be a master salesperson. You just need to be a person who cares and that will bring on some people who will shoulder with you and help build businesses and be able to change the world. So we're so excited that you looked at this. If you have questions, please get back with the person that brought you. I can stick around on this line for a few minutes. If you've got questions, we'll go ahead and allow you to unmute. And if you need to get off and on to other things, we're going to say thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your night. And we're so glad that you're here. Please get back with the person that brought you to this. Let them know whether you want to be a product user and a customer of the company. That's fine. Take care of your health. Be at your very best. But if you see the value in this and you want to be a business owner with us and that $500 is calling your name, we want to show you how to do that. We'll take it to the next level. Thanks for being here, everybody. This is a wrap for the presentation. If you've got questions, go ahead and unmute. And if you need to call it a night, hopefully we will see you soon.
Awesome job, Trisha. That was wonderful. And I caught what you said.